Hello again, welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk to you about freezing. And I came across this today because I was thinking about freezing goats, or fainting goats rather, and how they freeze and then they faint. And I started thinking about freezing and how we do that in our own lives. And maybe we don't actually faint, but we might feel like we're going to faint. So, when you're really little, like preschool, you try anything, you try everything. And you only become hesitant once you've been hurt, or once somebody has hurt your feelings, or whatever that might be for you. And as that happens more and more, you become less and less reticent to take chances. You become less and less reticent to, go all in on something. And, by the time you get to school, maybe you go to your first school dance and you're thinking about asking that special person to dance with you, but you're afraid that they might say no, and so you don't ask them, and then you spend the whole night sort of moping about because you didn't get to dance with the person you wanted to dance with, or whatever the instance might be. And then we start to build up a sort of a habit of freezing before we do something because we're afraid of the consequences if they're not going to be in our favor. And that stops us from experiencing the joy of when things do go our way, because we go into this self-protection mode. And look, I totally get it. We all do it. But what if we were to take that moment that we freeze and reframe something in our mind? What if we take that moment and sort of say, yeah, that person might not dance with me, but what if that person does dance with me? How will that make me feel? And, will we become friends? And, sort of spin out a whole list of possibilities on the positive side of things. Because when we freeze, we rarely freeze because things are going to go fantastically, right? We freeze because we think they're not going to work out. And, use that time to sort of think, well, if I don't take this chance, whatever that chance might be, or I don't follow through in this particular thing, what are the consequences that are going to, wreck my day, or wreck my week, or my month, or my life, depending on, how big of a chance you're taking. So if we can reframe things and think, okay, this is the worst case scenario, this is the best case scenario, chances are it's not going to be either one, right? Chances are it's going to be somewhere in between. And depending on, what the situation is and how you feel about it, you're going to find it's going to be in here, or it's going to be in here. And, even if you think worst case scenario, think about, what are some of the positive things that might come out of even the worst case scenario? Because you know what? The worst case scenario always has a silver lining. I mean, everything has a silver lining. We just have to reframe our way of thinking about it. So that's what I think is important about those moments in which we freeze. It's the way that we can reframe things. It's the way that we can sort of say, yeah, this is worth taking a chance. Because if I don't take a chance, I'm going to live in regret. And living in regret is a whole other topic for a whole other day. But, and if it's not that big of a deal, maybe the decision you're trying to make is not like living a life of regret. It's not going to end up that way. Then why freeze to start with? It can't be that bad, right? So it's just a time we can take to reframe where our mindset is. It's a time that we can take that will allow us to just be in the moment, take a breath, and then go for it. Because life is too short for wasted opportunities. That's my musing. Have a great one, everyone.